Welcome, members. Welcome to today's Zoom session. Okay, welcome, Hafsa, are you ready for speaking? Hafsa? You're raising your hand. I think she's a first-time speaker also. Why did you pay extra for it?
I think I paid extra for it because it was an expensive gold-plated watch. It was a branded watch, and I bought it from Michael Kors. So, branded watches, of course, cost a lot.
Do you think you made the right decision to buy it?
Yes, I think I perfectly made the right decision because it was due for very long. Since my childhood, I always wanted to buy branded gold-plated watch, so it's a dream come true.
Do you always pay more for things that you like?
Not really. I don't always pay a lot for things I like. I usually wait for sales, offers, and promotions. So this watch was also on a promotion, but still it was quite expensive.
Okay, not always, but I do not always pay. That's correction. Do you think children should help poor people?
I strongly agree with this, that children should help poor people. I think parents and teachers should always encourage them to support the poor and the needy. This will develop a sense of responsibility among them.
Should wealthy people help those in need?
Rich people should help more and they should give money to them on a widely basis, because there are millions of wealthy people in the world and billions of poor people in the world, so they should help them.
Do you have any savings?
Yes, I do have some savings. I usually save on a monthly basis, and I try to save a lot, but I couldn't. But yes, I do save.
What are you saving for?
I'm saving to go on a Europe trip with my husband. It is due for very long. We have been planning to do it for a very long time, but once we get in the appropriate savings, we will do it.
Yes, dear. So when it comes to the responses of yours, yes, you have a very good hold over your language. Let's make sure we, stick to that appropriate or required number of sentences. Let's give a little bit of additional information about the topic that you're speaking. You could also improvise when it comes to lexical resource as well. So yes, you are a potential student, so you could do a great job, dear.
Okay, thank you. I have one question. How many sentences should we use for a particular question? Maximum?
Five at least, dear. And yes.
Okay, so we have Rejoice. Rejoice, are you ready for speaking?
Yes, I'm ready.
Why did you pay extra for it? Yesterday too.
Yeah, I was there. Yes, I had to pay for more. Since the laptop, the time that I wanted to purchase it, was on demand and it was scarce to get it. So I had to pay an extra charge in order to get a high quality, and also for the other laptop accessories.
Do you think you made the right decision to buy it?
Definitely, I believe I made the right decision, because I'm always now using it in all my lessons, and also for me.
Should wealthy people help those in need?
I believe so. Those who are rich should actually aid in assisting those who are in need, in order to help in eradicating poverty, and also this will definitely boost the economic status of any country, because like the government or the state will not continue to give revenue to the old people who are in need. So I believe they should chip in order to help boost the economic of a situation of a country.
Do you have any savings?
For now, I don't have any savings as yet, due to the fact that all my money, which I had saved since last year, was used up during the COVID pandemic, because I had to assist others who were in need.
You have been able to answer the questions to the point, which is a very good thing. And the later part of the responses, the lexical resource was up to the mark. Only thing is, again, we are repeating the question statement, like, yes, wealthy people need to help the poor or needy. So let's just avoid that one, dear. Otherwise, it's all good, going great.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome, dear. Only there was twice that you have repeated the question statement. Let's avoid that. But I see that when you were very conscious initially, and you started paraphrasing using similar words. That is very nice, actually. And then some responses were very short here. We need to at least respond to each question in 5 sentences. So let's have good amount of content to speak on there. And when it comes to lexical resource, so we could, probably use some more standardized words. You are doing a good job, no doubt, but you could still do better. Your potential in it. Lovepreet, you would wish to speak there?
Yes, ma'am. I want to give my answers of part 3.
Please go ahead, dear.
James, why did you pay extra for it? Yesterday we were talking about something which we bought.
Actually, at that time, it was very imperative for me to buy a laptop to complete my assignment. So at that time, I pay more than expected for that laptop, and I think that was important for me.
Do you think you made the right decision to buy it?
Actually, I think yes, that was a right decision for me, because if I did not spend more than expected at that laptop, then I could not complete my assignment or time. So I got less marks in my examination. So I think that was a better decision made by me.
Do you always pay more for things that you like?
No, I never pay a lot of money on things that I mostly like, but sometimes in the items of household, like groceries, I pay more than I expected.
Do you think children should help poor people?
Definitely. I think children should help the needy people, so that different kind of feeling like kindness comes in their heart, and parents and teachers should encourage children to help the poor people by doing small things like giving them food, or the clothes, and something else that are very minimum for the children, but that can become a biggest thing in the life of the poor people.
Should wealthy people help those in need?
Of course, wealthy people must help the poor people in need, because I think if they contribute their small amount of money, or things like clothes and food, they don't feel bad for them. I think rich people definitely help the needy people.
Do you have any saving?
Being a student, I never started to save money for me, because my all time my parents started to save money for me. So I have never saved any money for me yet.
We could, answer the questions in a length, that required 5 sentences there. And then pronunciation that we will take care of. Articles here and there, when you're not too specific, you're talking generally about people, poor people. So we don't have to be using the poor people. So that's incorrect. So let's avoid using article unnecessarily too. And then, yes, you could have used some good amount of vocabulary. I see that you have tried using similar words instantly, which is good. So let's work on it there.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
How many sentences they need to speak on the part 3? How many sentences do they need for each question?
All right. When it comes to part 3 of your speaking, first of all, you will have questions on general interest topics. When I say general interest, they could ask about healthcare. They could talk about the current education system, the family structure, all of those general type of questions. Now, when they ask, you are expected to answer questions in 5 sentences, please.
5 sentences for each question. Okay.
Yes, please. And apart from these general interest topics, you might encounter questions based on your responses from part 1 and 2 as well. Let's say for one of the questions you would have answered that, this is what I like the most. So probably your examiner will pick up response of yours and ask you a why question. Why did you actually pick that particular option? So a lot of why questions that you could expect when it comes to part 3 as well. Now, how do I answer these general interest topics questions in? You could encounter different types of questions when it comes to part 3. First one, to be very precise, you will have compare and contrast kind of questions. What is this compare and contrast? You need to be talking about past and the present. Like, when I was a child, I really enjoyed playing outdoor games. However, I don't anymore. So you're going to be comparing all those, tastes and preferences of yours, or you could be talking about family structure for that matter. See, basically India is a country where there is joint family system, but then it is, vanishing slowly because we have nuclear family system, and probably because of access to educational institutions and job opportunities are the two major reasons. Now, like this, you are supposed to compare. Now, what type of sentences am I supposed to be using? Please use comparative adjective like, let me give you an example. Sita is more intelligent than Geeta. So use this sentence structure when you have two different subjects to compare it with, two different situations. This is the sentence structure that your examiners would expect, and that will fetch you marks. After compare and contrast, this type of question is very common, when it comes to part 1 and part 3 as well. So let us make sure we use the right sentence structure. Let us not forget. Okay, if you probably have questions, now what is comparative adjective? It is nothing but, if you remember your school days, grammar classes, happy, happier, happiest. Those are the degrees of comparison. When I have two different subjects, I'm going to be using the comparative form. There are questions related to cause and effects. Like, what was the cause of this and what is the after effects? When I say effects, they are expecting you to explain results. Results or consequences. So, let me give you a simple example. You might also expect questions on the current situation, which is existing. That is, the virus. Now, what is the cause of this virus? What are the after effects on human? So, you are going to be using phrases like, when you're talking about effects, please do not use the same words which the examiner has used in the question statements. When they ask you for effects, talk about results. This led to this, consequences. So please make sure you use similar words and not the same question words or statements. Never repeat. Directly get to the point. Start your response. You don't have to be saying yes, no to, for that matter. Definitely. I don't think so. If you feel you need to give an agreement, say I strongly agree with the question statement. If you don't, say I don't think so. Or if you feel you're not too sure, that 50-50 kind of a situation. So just say I don't think or I'm not too sure, and then go ahead and give your opinion as to why you agree with it, why you disagree with it. When we say the healthcare facility in India is developing, or it is probably education system is not that affordable to everyone, especially professional courses. So when a question is asked, you're going to say yes, no. Instead of that, use a phrase, I totally agree with you for professional courses or so and so. Start giving reasons. So in just 5 sentences, make sure you answer the question right. And the tone of your voice should indicate that you have come to the end of the conversation. This is all about cause and effect. I don't know if you have heard of this term called as hypothetical. Hypothetical is nothing but it is an imaginary situation. You might be wondering, will I be able to answer such a question? Will I encounter one? Yes, you might. There are 7 different types of questions when it comes to part 3, and this is one of them. They're going to be giving you, not a real situation, but probably you will imagine yourself that you would be there and you will start speaking. What if you probably get a chance or you would have won a lottery with so and so? So what would you do with that particular money? What would you do if you probably woke up the next morning with a pair of wings? So there is a, definite sentence structure when you're answering. I don't know if you have heard of this conditional sentences. This holds good when it comes to any unreal situation or any imaginary situation. And it is very simple. You're going to start your response with if and later with subject and then would. I'll share it with you probably when I just, verbally when I say that might sound tough. So hypothetical also is one of the question types. Alright, so we have learned 3, that is compare and contrast, cause and effect, hypothetical, that is unreal. Okay, there's a message from someone, I guess. Can we add examples of ourselves, experience in part 3, answers are about general people? Yes, you could. If the sentences, permits, probably you have just spoken for 3 sentences or so, you feel you have a very good relevant example. When you state an example, let's make sure that it fits in the context that you're speaking. Please go ahead and use these phrases like, for example, or for instance, and give us an example related to the topic that you're speaking.